If you happen to find yourself single and want to experience searching for a life partner online and on dating apps, I just happen to have a few tips that I wish I knew before joining dating apps and trying out online dating. I truly wish after watching my video you will skip the necessary heartbreaks that I went through before I changed my whole strategy at how I approached online dating. I can say this new strategy works because I'm engaged now, so it's been tried and proven to work. Hey y'all! Welcome to my video, and I'm excited that you have stumbled upon this video. And if you have, you must be on the path to seeking or searching for a perfect match, someone who you will feel complete and compatible with. And that is very exciting news and a very exciting moment for you to be going through. The reason I say this is exciting for you because a lot of people dread that feeling of being single and searching for real love. Most people are genuinely starting to believe that real love has faded and that people are no longer dating for love. But of course, these are just other people's experiences, and someone else's truth is not your personal truth. We all live in our own individual truths, and the only person to fully define what that can be is you. So, if you have found yourself in this state, instead of looking at it as a burden, look at it as an opportunity to course correct, to rewrite your story, to create what is most admirable to you, and look forward to all the possible good things that can be realized from you embarking on this journey. You alone decide what it is that you will pull from that hat and the type of partner that you are truly searching for. I think that's enough motivation for one day. Let's get on to it, shall we? In my previous two videos on this topic were general tips and traps to watch out for, especially if you are looking for love online. However, since I'm a woman, certain things only apply to women. Hence the reason why I have decided to include this in a separate video just for my girls. If you're a guy and you still want to watch this, you can, for educational purposes, of course. First tip, try and relax and don't do too much. This point can be looked at as the point I made in my previous video about not being desperate. It is in a way similar, but this is specifically for females, and I will unpack. First things first, I would like to make things very clear. I am addressing women who are comfortable being or expressing their feminine qualities and want to remain more in their feminine state. This is a choice you must make from the very beginning before you enter in any type of relationship with any type of partner. The reason why I say that you have to choose from the very beginning is most of you will agree with me. A lot of women tend to be forced in masculine roles even when they are with a male partner. It is very common, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, because other women genuinely love and prefer those type of relationships and they're in that situation willingly. If that is the case, then that is perfect. However, I'm talking to women who, as it seems, circumstances just occurred and voila, they found themselves in a masculine role doing masculine tasks around the home. And it doesn't stop there for some. They still find themselves also having to shoulder the feminine roles as well. No wonder most women end up being burned out, stressed, unhappy, and not fulfilled, because it is a lot to handle. I know this because once upon a time I was that person, expected to pay almost all the bills and also have to deal with the child at home, cook, clean, and I know how I felt then. I knew it wasn't what I wanted for myself. For someone who is used to carrying their load and everyone else's load, it is quite hard to let go of the reins and for once let someone take care of you. It almost feels like a right-handed person trying to write with a left hand, or it's like you're you are unlearning everything that you know. So that is why you have to consciously decide and choose it is something you want to change from the very beginning. But if you have always been feminine and never had to be forced to turn into a man around the house and then do all the masculine roles, then this tip is easy, or will be easy for you to follow. So trying too much comes as a desperation, because it actually is a form of desperation. How? Well, because at the core of it all, it really is just desperation to be loved, to be liked, and you just want it to work, so you pretty much do too much without you even knowing it. I will give you an example. I was dating a certain man for a couple of weeks. He was, and had everything I wanted in a man. He was masculine, so he would always initiate things. He did things for me without me even having to ask for them. Well, not directly, at least. He was financially secure, so I knew he would look after me. He had a nice car as well, so cherry on top. Yeah, well, we all have those moments. All these things made me really like him, and I wanted this man, and I made a conscious decision that I choose him. And just because of that, I completely lost control of myself. I found myself doing too much, like thinking of what I should do to make them like me even more than they already did. And I just wanted them to stay. You know, I would think of getting him gifts, maybe checking up on him more than I should, just making sure that he remembers I am there. You know, just giving off completely desperation vibes in general. And deep in my core, I knew what I was trying to do. I was trying to convince myself that I deserved this person by doing too much. Because you see, after all this, I must have unconsciously believed that he was too good for me. And for that reason, I needed to do too much to convince him that I was good enough for him, to match him, to meet him where I thought he was. But my own insecurities overvalued his worth in my eyes. And well, that always backfires. And it did. However, I lived to tell the tale. I was lucky it just fizzled out and we just stopped talking. But for most, this now becomes the basis or the foundation upon which your relationship with this person is built upon. Men adapt very quickly. That's one thing you should remember. And whatever pattern that you have demonstrated that you are comfortable with from the very start, that will be the pattern you will have to live with for the rest of the time you are with them, because it is almost impossible to change certain circumstances. It is almost always impossible to change and have a man behave a certain way from the beginning and then have them change to act a certain way. It is almost impossible. What you set as the base of your relationship, that is what you have to deal with for the entire time you are with them. I will use this as an example. Most women go on a date and want to split the bill because according to the ones I know and have spoken with, they tell me it demonstrates a level of independence to their potential partner. And that's all fine by me. That's all fine by all means. But what you must be aware of is this. That first date is you are setting first impressions, and there's a reason why they say first impressions matter. Because, my dears, that first date sets the course of your entire relationship. You have established that you are happy with a 50-50 relationship and be prepared to be in a 50-50 type of relationship for the entirety of your relationship. Don't expect that now that you're in a relationship, your partner will step up and pay for all your bills, and that you'll no longer be in a 50-50 type of situation. No. That was not the initial agreement. you signed up for a 50-50 relationship and you are happy with it, you will get a 50-50 relationship. I see a lot of people that get in relationships and after a while feel like they were tricked, when in fact they made unconscious agreements which they are no longer happy or comfortable with these people or these partners that they made these unconscious agreements with. So look at being single as the best time to course correct your path. Organize yourself, set the boundaries around what it is you want in a partner and stick with that. And please don't listen to what others are saying, because I know a lot of people out there who have dropped their standards for the partners they are now feel stuck with and want you to do the same. My advice is ignore these talks. You deserve the very best and you will likely get it. Just stick to the plan and never cross your boundaries for anyone. Keep them locked, keep them tight, and keep those boundaries intact. Second tip. This one is very important, so please listen. I know when you hit it off with someone, the next thing you both are dying to do or to try is see what's under the hood. Take them for a test drive in the bedroom. You can do that if you are not really emotionally attracted to this person and nothing really won't change, or your feelings about them are basically not there or don't exist. Okay? However, if you are not sure how you feel about them the first couple of days, it is best you don't engage in any sexual activities with your date. More especially if you hit it off and you are actually into them, then don't even think about engaging in any type of sexual activities with them until you are sure and are clear-headed about their intentions with you. I will explain why, so please pay attention. If it is not obvious already, men and women are very different in so many ways, okay? The sexual activity itself serves different purposes between the male and the female in general. If we go back to nature's first rule or nature's design, without all the societal constructs and human emotions, just go to raw order of things, it all comes down to this simple basis. The male needs the woman to reproduce him for the sake of his survival. Okay? That is why a male will woo a woman to get her to reproduce for him. It's simply nature's dance, and please try as best as you can to remove all feelings and emotions from what I'm trying to tell you, because it has nothing to do with feelings. Nature doesn't care about our feelings, not at all. So, when the female has been successfully wooed and has agreed to reproduce for him, when she has sexual activity with the partner or with the male, she releases the happy hormone, which also naturally bonds her to him for the purpose of nurturing him and his young. Otherwise, if she is not bonded to him, she would not be committed to him and his young. She will not want to be there to nurture for them. Therefore, sexual intercourse will not bond your partner to you. It will not. You cannot manipulate a man to love you through sexual activities with you if you're a female, because biologically that's not how it works for them. What it will do though is it will bond you to them, and you will feel love and affection because your hormones think you have found a potential partner to mate and reproduce with, Hence, you will believe you have fallen for them when in actual fact you haven't. It's just hormones, just chemicals in your body telling you what to feel. And after a period of time, that feeling fades away. It always does. So when you have cultures that really guard and are really strict when it comes to women not having sexual activities before marriage, you now know why. They are trying to protect these women from the unknown and making unholy alliances. Okay, so once you have agreed to sleeping with your date, make sure you can handle your emotions. Make sure you can keep your emotions at bay. For the most part, most older girls or women who have had the experience of falling in love with the wrong partner and have had their hearts broken a couple of times, they know exactly what they're not looking for. So they can handle arrangements like friends with benefits and casual dating, no strings attached type of things. For the most of you who are not ready and are just too sensitive, you easily fall in love. Try to hold back until you are certain. For it is really hard to pull away or even see red flags when you are already too deep. You're already emotionally attached to this person for you to notice that you keep crossing your own boundaries and you keep doing too much for them. Before you know it, you have made a commitment to a partner that you swore you would never be with. The job of a man is to woo you. They will manipulate, trick, lie, and do whatever they can to get you. So when you end up breaking your own boundaries and allowing them in, don't turn around and blame anyone. It is you who has agreed and let them in the first place. Only you can take responsibility, let them out, and change that which needs changing in your life. Third tip. Try if you can to be mysterious. I know we are all different, and I know that that's what makes, life interesting, because we're all different and we all bring out our different sides, which complements and make life so interesting and worth exploring. I know all that. Therefore, I am not asking you to change who you are. Far from it. Be who you are. However, what I'm asking you to do is to increase your value, and the easiest way you do that is by being mysterious. I will explain, so please pay attention. Men love to chase. It is in their nature, and you simply cannot fault them for it. If you understand how nature works, you understand. I know how easier it was to let a man chase you if you, say, met in the outside world. And normally things will just flow naturally, you know what I mean? But it gets a bit tricky if you have met on a dating app and you don't know if you should play hard to get. And even if when you decide you want to send, say, a message that you're still interested, but not too desperate to jump to the first opportunity, you don't know how to. However, there are ways, or smart ways, that you can do that smartly and casually. And the very first point to take is this. On the first date, try not to overshare details about you. Tell them only what they need to know about you, nothing more, nothing less. The thing about oversharing everything there is to know about you is it leaves nothing for the person to explore, to figure out, to guess about you. Absolutely nothing. So take the dating game as a hunt. He's the hunter and you're the prey, okay? Lead him on, but not too much and not too little. Just enough to keep the person interested and wanting to know more. Leave some other bits to their imagination. Leave blanks for them to feel, okay? Make yourself so interesting he will have no choice but to stick around, and the more elusive you are, the more out of reach you will seem to him, and the more value you will have to him, because he will want to know what you are about. Your value will go up quickly if he feels like there's always more about you to discover. So don't just dump yourself at his feet. This will make him lazy and even bored at the most part. And you and me both know how men are like, or how they behave if they're bored. They will take the hunt somewhere else that's a bit more entertaining and challenging. Okay, so always be elusive and never straight to the point on your first date or the first few dates. But make sure that if there are certain things that he must know about you, please tell him immediately. For instance, I have a daughter, and I would always mention this on the very first date. Bringing a child or children to a relationship is a huge commitment, and you want him to know what he is getting himself into. You don't want to bring this up on the third date or fourth date. People will take this as a deception, and they will feel like you are intentionally trying to trick them. So bring sensitive matters out from the onset. You will decide what is sensitive and what isn't, but just make sure that that is brought up as quickly as possible. And I hope this has been helpful for you during your journey as you are searching for love. There's so many things that can be said about courtship and dating, and I know most of us, if we have been single for a really long time, we tend to be too eager and so excited when we meet someone who, perhaps speaks our language and understands us, and we feel and believe we have made a connection with them. Try as best as you can to control and keep your feelings and emotions neutral. The best way to do this is to distract yourself by doing what you love. Concentrate on your hobbies, your friends, just something besides making it about this new person that you've just met. Because men sense these things. They can sense your vulnerability. They can sense your vulnerable areas. And if you have had the misfortune of matching with the wrong kind, they will use this to their advantage and exploit your weaknesses. Ladies, remember this is a jungle and we are all animals at our core. Try not to build your plans around this person. Have your own life. Go out with your friends and do what you love. Go out in nature. Do something. Just be you. These things make you very attractive and naturally increase your value in a potential partner's eyes. As always, stay safe.